Yeah, G-spot tornado, and you must know this man, because I do. Yes, of course. Now there's a special thing to look for in this video. Shall you describe it?
I don't know whether it's advisable, but if you're really curious, for those of you who are interested in, which one do you want me to look at? Oh, this one over here. There's something interesting in the middle of that video with a very large vegetable. It goes by fast, but you'll have to watch closely the next time they show it. There is, in fact, an enormous vegetable that is being partially mutilated by a human being, tucked away in some of the fast cutting toward the end section of the video.
I think it's advisable to see this sort of behavior. I mean, you know, this sort of thing was edited out of Angel Heart, you see, you know, but...
But Angel Heart was a chicken. This is different.
This is different. A chicken, you know, is sort of more alive than a vegetable, so... but that's good stuff. Did you...
Speaking of chickens who are more alive than vegetables...
Which one? This one, perhaps? Oh, my.
Have you read them, this quote here?
I have, but you can bring it up again.
Just to remind you, Warren Beatty says, how can you not like him when he remembers conversations that took place 15 years ago?
It's sort of an exciting concept to me. I mean, because he sort of, I couldn't remember a couple days in August.
But you know what today's big news is?
What?
Did you realize that a judge in Alabama has declared that secular humanism is, in fact, a religion? Some people think this is bad news. I happen to think that it's great news. Do you know why?
Why?
Because for those of us who happen to be secular humanists, it now means that we are entitled to the same tax breaks that the fundamentalists get. So let's say that you want to be a secular humanist. The thing to do is to declare your car your temple. Declare your house your temple, and get the same real estate tax breaks that the fundamentalists do. This is tremendous news that has happened today.
Now you've shared it with 30 million viewers.
Please take advantage of this economic opportunity.
Now, right away. So it's like there's going to be a cable special with a lot of these guys. They quit Herbalife and they quit the credit card scam. Now
That's right.
It's secular humanism. It's a good thing. So, well, let's go back into video for a moment and come back. Kinks with their Closet Classic is on the way. Stuff happening tonight, but you know, we're going to give you concert information on Alice Cooper and Tesla, but first we wanted to talk about Tesla, didn't we?
Yeah. Are you aware of the fact that Nikola Tesla was the guy who invented alternating current?
We have discussed it.
Yeah. But he kind of sold it cheap to a company. I think it was $600,000.
That's pretty cheap.
Yeah. Imagine if you still had the patent on AC today. You could be a Republican.
So maybe they should be young Republicans out on the road with Alice Cooper. You can see them and the snakes that Alice is bringing, plus the guillotine and all that sort of stuff he likes to do. So don't miss it. Yeah, some folks who can't get out of the news these days, the Beastie Boys, you know that whole contest they have, the body snatchers thing? I don't think my dad's aware of this yet, but he will be moments from now. What they're going to do, see, is it's this whole kind of thing where they're going to be body snatchers, and we couldn't exactly tell you for sure whether or not that involved the use of a condom, but we were sort of curious.
Hoping that it would.
Yeah, because, you know, on
Just
MTV
for the sake
Scandal.
of the children.
Yeah. You know, so the Beasties are basically going to snatch you up and take you to Daytona Beach, Florida, give you $5,000, and then you will be able to do a part in Revenge of the Nerds Part 2. And details on how to enter this fabulous bonanza that MTV has concocted are on the way. But I figured you'd get a kick out of that. It's real good for the self-esteem to go into Revenge of the Nerds Part 2. And
well, think about it. If that's the best thing you can win, you might as well go for it.
Yeah, but Beastie Boys excitement down in Daytona Beach. Lots of beer. I mean, you know the kind of you know, behavior.
Party. That interesting little resolution where it's not quite the flat 7 and it's not quite the regular 7. And
it's pretty close,
and it goes up there, I got it.
We got it. But now a video that neither of us have seen, but we're pretty darn excited to watch. You Don't Know Me, Berlin. You're seeing tons of stuff on the channel, but you know, We have this top 100 countdown thing that's really exciting next weekend. We're going to count down the top 100 videos of all time, both Saturday and Sunday morning, starting at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific. And, you know, that could be really... What happened to the Beatles cartoons? They're not on this weekend?
No, they'll be there.
They're at 10.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Those are your favorite ones, huh? Well, you know.
That's sign language.
I always used a garden hose for the Beatle cartoons, too.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about this for a moment. This was from the Mardi Gras, and you always used to tell me the stories about this sort of Cajun mojo fairy tale stuff.
They used to use a chicken foot for this purpose.
In fact, if you see Angel Heart, they have a chicken foot in there, and some guy gets extremely frightened. You know, he goes to the bathroom, he finds a chicken foot right at the stall that he's supposed to use.
There was a story at one time that the mojo problem was sweeping the South. There was quite an epidemic of mojo warfare going on down there at one time.
Mojo warfare, that's...
Yeah. People putting curses on one another and so forth.
But
secular humanists don't really believe in that sort of thing. You know, it takes a really incompetent individual to place any sort of faith. Look at this guy. To place any sort of faith on either of these two individuals.
There we go. It's sort of a special concept.
In fact, let's see if it works. I hereby take this mojo doodad and place it in proximity to this mojo doodad and force them to perform an unnatural act on teenage television. Now, if this little spell works, soon we'll be rid of him.
Ooh, yes, that's...
And if it doesn't, then you get a rough idea of what these things are really worth.
Yeah, what's the retail value of one of those things, I wonder?
In Nicaragua?
Yeah, it's probably...
$495 US dollars.
Ooh, so that's pretty
And the
special.
finest quality craftsmanship.
Yeah, straw and fiber could be a cereal. You know.
Do you know John Denver adds a couple of raisins to these things and sits by a pup tent and tells you that they're really good for you?
And that's probably true. 4 in a row are on the way, but now this word from Skittles. Oh boy, yeah, after touring all last year, Simple Minds took a much-needed vacation, but the band is back to work, and we caught up with lead singer Jim Kerr last week in Los Angeles, and he told us what they're up to. The live album will include a version of Sun City and Sly Stone's Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself Again. In the current film, Some Kind of Wonderful, Mary Stuart Masterson plays Watts, a tough teenage drummer, but in early May, you'll be able to see her as a very different kind of teenager in the Francis Coppola film Gardens of Stone. Mary plays the girlfriend of a Vietnam vet, and she'll also appear in the spring in Lucky Star, the latest off-Broadway play from Beth Henley, who wrote Crimes of the Heart and True Stories. Meanwhile, Mary's co-star in Some Kind of Wonderful, Eric Stoltz, also has a new project in the works. He gave us some details. Eric will take the role of Shelley opposite Philip Anglin. Is that Anglin?
I think it's Glenn.
Yeah, Anglin, in the role of Byron. It's ironic to note that both actors gained fame playing deformed characters, Stoltz as Rocky Dennis in Mask and Anglin creating the role of the Elephant Man on Broadway. So, ironic to note, basically. Did you see Mask?
Yeah.
Did you like Mask?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Eric was good in that. It was good. Oh, you know, we're going to kick off 4 in a row, and I got a funny little story because Lone Justice is the band that kicks it off. And a long time ago, Maria McKee's parents, you know, Maria has a brother who used to be in a band called Love who was playing, I guess, at the Roxy at one point. And you were apparently at the show, and her parents brought her up to you when she was very small, and she said, "Hi, Frank," in a real low voice, and you told them that I know that's not really a baby, it's a midget.
Maybe it was a midget. You can't tell.
Well, anyway.
There's so much disinformation going on these days. Who can tell?
Maria's not a Republican, much.
I hope not.
No, but she's a great singer, so let's watch the video.
That's right.
The Greg Allman band there. And you were mentioning something that you didn't like. You liked the song, but you didn't like part in the video?
Well, yeah, I don't like the hanging stuff at the end. I think
Yeah, I thought
children, do not try this at home.
Yeah, it's not really such an exciting thing. You can't really hang yourself and not hurt yourself, you see. The feet dangling is sort of, it's a special effect. Don't try it at home, really, okay? Thank
Unless
you so
you're a
much.
Republican, then try it every morning.
Thank you so much. Closet Classics Weekend, you're seeing your favorite oldies, at least 2 oldies each hour all weekend long. To end our Closet Classics Weekend, we've got a film from the early days of rock and roll. It's Rock, 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 and features performances from Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers, Connie Francis, Chuck Berry, and much, much more. Please, watch this because it's going to be so special, plus appearances by actress Tuesday Weld and famed rock DJ Alan Freed. It all begins at 8:30 p.m. Eastern and 5:30 Pacific. So, have you seen that film? I haven't seen it yet.
No.
You've never seen it, but we, did you know Frankie Lyman, or you knew stories
No, I just
about
knew that he is deceased from a drug overdose. Kids, do not try this at home.
Yeah.
Unless you're a Republican.
Then you're free to do whatever you want, Sort of a weird thing. Sting, Sting Closet Classic on the way. The band take you all across the United States, and basically in this contest, if you go to any one of these stores and pick up an entry blank, you see these stores right here, you can basically win this thing, and what happens is you get to choose a city anywhere in the world to go to, and it's going to be super exciting. So go pick up your entry blank, and then what are some really good places? I've suggested Bhopal, India, and
Well, it depends on what you want,
yeah,
For teenage fun?
well, probably, I don't know who's really going to enter. Probably, I would imagine somebody around like 24, 25.
No, I think much younger than that. I think people, 13 to 18 or younger. And I think that obviously the best place for them to go.
Hello. Hold on a second.
Is it him?
Yeah. It's here you go.
All right, I know you've gone into the prayer tower. I know you're fasting until you either make your quota or they take you away. But I just wanted to say, before you got too excited about it, there is a contest here on MTV that would allow a person to go any place in the world to have a good time. And I'm going to recommend that if they win, that they join you in that prayer tower and get to not eat for a while until you either die or make the money. I think that'd be a great way for any teenager in America to spend their spare time. Don't you, Oral? Oh yeah, don't be too excited now. Well, good luck. And anybody who's watching this, if you want to send money to Oral Roberts, I recommend that you don't. Actually send it to some place where they might invest it in research and AIDS.
Thank you so much. Oral, very good stuff. The man, I saw his son this morning, did I tell you? And he does look like Dracula, by the way.
He does. Have you ever seen Oral Roberts' son? He's got the little Dracula thing in there. I watched him the other day. He had a chest cold. Really? Did you see it?
No.
He had all these people sitting around him on the sofas, and he started complaining about his chest cold and asked the other people in the room to help him heal his chest cold through faith. So they reached over and they put their hands on his chest, and they were saying literally this: Lord, rebuke this congestion.
Yeah, they do that in traffic, too.
Clear chest, all the highways right up.
It's sort of a weird thing, but the other thing is, couldn't he just go to one of those little medical research centers that they got all over the place?
Comtrex. Or
Yeah.
anything. Sudafed.
Yeah.
Rebuke this congestion. And while they're doing that, you know what he's doing? He's saying, they're healing him, and he's healing people in the audience who say, there's a cataract in someone's left eye that just vanished.
And only he knew, boy, but only if you knew. Concert info now for Eric Clapton with Robert Cray also as the opening act. And by the way, Phil Collins is playing drums with Eric Clapton, so why not go see the show? Yeah, right now he's living. Well, yeah, I know, I had some idea.
Spit it out, boy.
Right now he's in LA shooting a new movie called Couch Trip. Yeah, he plays a man who escapes from an institution and impersonates a Beverly Hills psychologist. His wife in real life, Donna Dixon, is also in the movie playing a receptionist. Couch Trip will be in movie theaters by Christmas. After touring all last year, Simple Minds took a much-needed vacation, but the band is back to work. And we caught up with lead singer Jim Kerr last week in Los Angeles, and he told us what they're up to. Live album will include a version of Sun City and Sly Stone's Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself Again. Well, you know, George Michael is on the charts. Here we go. George Michael is on the charts with Aretha Franklin, and he's about to begin work on his first solo album. But wait, George Michael is? And he's going to do his first solo album? Didn't he have one? Or was it just a solo single?
No, he just had like an EP or something.
Okay, so just a couple songs.
One of
Now,
the big jobs.
Yeah, one of those big ones. Okay.
About like that.
Now you want to get a lot of George? This is it. But what's become of Wham? The other half, Andrew Ridgeley. This is the guy we're talking about. He spent most of the past 6 months racing cars in the south of France, but we caught up with him in Hollywood, where he told us there's music and movies in his future.
I'm over here chasing.
But what happened to the trumpet player that went berserk on that airliner from Wham? The trumpet player went berserk on the airliner in China. How come they never have any news about him? What's he doing? Is he in Couch Trip?
Yeah, probably. He was inspired.
He directed Couch Trip.
He wrote it. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, they went to China, and the trumpet player went crazy on the flight.
Attack somebody with a knife.
Yeah.
Is he the guy who's running around on the New York subways with the big machete?
West 86.
You know?
No.
Okay, well, I'm thinking of a
Maybe.
different guy. Super exciting things are on the way. We got 4 in a row that we're going to kick off with Robbie Neville and Dominoes. Oh boy, it's MTV and this is the Closet Classics weekend. You got a Closet Classic from Eric Clapton, Tipper Gore's favorite Black Sabbath, and let's continue with 4 in a row with Bruce Hornsby. Walking Down Your Street, that's the Bangles, and it's their brand new video basically. Is that, who's the guy who pulls up in the truck? I forget his name. You know, and he does the walking like Egyptian little thing. Is it? He's an actor.
Trivia quiz.
Yeah. Okay.
Come on.
Oh well. Let's talk about something more exciting, like.
The trumpet player from Wham that went hog wild on the Chinese airliner.
That's the guy who did our music news drum.
Yeah.
Shecky.
Shecky. He doubles on trumpet and drums.
Yeah, he's totally burning. But I want to know about these soldiers of prayer. We're not talking about Stryper.
All right.
We're talking about.
For those of you, those teenagers watching this who are too busy to pay attention to religious television, take it from me, an old person who has the time to watch these guys. Here's what you missed this week. On the Richard Roberts show, featuring Dad, Oral Roberts, they had this guy from Texas on there who was trying to sell you a book, which is about this thick. It looks like a high school binder. And it's $40, and it tells you how to pray. And he claimed on the show that Jesus told him a year ago that it was his job to go out and locate 300,000 intercessors. Now, at this point, Oral Roberts says, prayer warriors. In other words, you spend $40, buy this book, learn how to pray, and you can become a prayer warrior. And the idea is that 300,000 people who are ignorant enough to send in $40 for this book will then follow its instructions and through prayer solve everything that's wrong in this country.
Comforting.
And now, how about the Beastie Boys contest?
Yeah, let's go right into that, shall we? They're gonna just snatch your body right up and take you down to Daytona, give you $5,000, get you real drunk with a whole lot of beer, and then they're gonna throw you in the Revenge of the Nerds Part 2, and details on how to enter are on the way. And you know, I found that pretty interesting. Those the prayer warriors. That would be a good cartoon if they could go up against the Transformers. You know?
I think that'd be really good. Yeah, music by Stryper.
Yeah. Well, let's get in touch with them, shall we? We'll call them on the phone.
You're going to call them now or later?
Pretty soon. We'll get them on the phone. We'll be back.
All right.
Closet Classic from the Easy Beats on the way.
They said it couldn't happen in America. 1987, your bedroom. They were wrong. MTV knows where you live, and we're telling the Beastie Boys. Meet the spring break body snatchers from Daytona. Sometime when you least expect it, those bad boys will invade your privacy, grab your body, force you to board the Beastie Boy party jet and fly to Florida. You won't have time to pack, so MTV will give you $5,000 for a new toothbrush.
Sweet for you, sweet for me. Come, Papa, come on.
Then it's off to Daytona Beach, where you'll be part of MTV's live spring break broadcast and possibly the police department's daily lineup. Plus, you will get a part in 20th Century Fox's new movie, Revenge of the Nerds 2, and movie star gear from Stridex. Send your name, age, address, phone number, and a mugshot to MTV's Body Snatcher Contest. Post Office Box 1211, Radio City Station, New York, New York 10101. And give us your next of kin's phone number, too. We won't phone you. We won't warn you. You won't even know you won until we show up. You could be on the street. You could be at work. You could be in conference. You could be snatched by MTV.
Them, and I hope they're going to call back
They're awful
because
busy, though.
Yeah, they're really. Maybe that's them now. Hold on, just a second. Hello. Oh yeah, put him through. Put him through. You guys, it's Robert Sweet from Striper. I got him on the line. Pretty exciting. Hello, Robert. Hey, you know what? This is Dweezil.
Who does his pants?
Who does your pants, by the way? Jose Ferrer? What? Wait, that can't be right. You know, I had this great idea. Actually, my father and I had this great idea to have you. Did you hear about this prayer warrior stuff? You must be up on all this stuff because, yeah, okay.
Ask them if they know that Jimmy Swaggart has been saying bad things about him all last week on his show.
Have you heard? Could you get that? Hold on. I think it's. Yeah, here you go. Sorry.
Hello?
You know, have you heard about Jimmy Swaggart being?
All right, Jim, look, this has gone too far. You spent all last week talking about a rock and roll band called Striper. They're only trying to make some money. After all, what other group is going to go around on tour and throw little Bibles into the audience? And you have the nerve to stand there on your show and say that these people are not Christian? Look, I know you're all trying to make a profit, but give them a break. Give them a chance to make the same amount of money that you're making with the crap that you're selling on the air. What is this? This is America. This is the free enterprise system. They dress better than you do. Okay, so you have those flunkies that sit around the table while you point to the thing with a pointer on the wall and try and give Bible lectures. But they have a right to rock, Jim.
Yeah, you guys.
I hope you understand what I'm telling you. I'm not going to tell you this again. That's it. Goodbye.
Well, I'm so excited that we cleared that up with Jimmy. And as I was trying to talk to you about before, I really would like it if you guys would write some music to this cartoon idea that I got with the prayer warriors. Prayer warriors fighting the Transformers. You guys, okay.
They going for it?
It's sort of, oh, wait, here.
Look. It's very, very difficult to make the amount of money that you want to make without going into some kind of syndication. I think that this cartoon idea of the prayer warriors with music by your group could really be spectacular. I think that it'd be
I catch you watching that all the time.
No, because Striper's in it.
Yeah, you know. They look like some overgrown wasps to me, you know. It's just sort of a weird thing.
Bumblebees, maybe.
Bumblebees. Yeah, they're a little bit too wimpy.
But I think that the lead singer has a really good voice.
He does have a pretty good voice.
He has a good voice. I think that the other musicians in the band are good. I think that their video looks great. The problem I have is the stuff they throw into the audience. I think that, you know, if you like the Bible, the idea of using it as a projectile during a concert seems to be in bad taste.
Yeah, wouldn't you rather have one of those green glow sticks thrown at your head? Let's go into 4 in a row. But first, this word from Snickers. Oh gosh, music news time. Peter Gabriel and Duran Duran will headline The Secret Policeman's Third Ball, a pair of London benefit shows for Amnesty International at the end of the month. That's when that's going to happen. Peter Gabriel will perform only one song, and he hopes to get Kate Bush to join in for Don't Give Up. That's their duet on his solo album. Also on the bill for brief solo sets will be Mark Knopfler of Dire Straits, Bob Geldof, Jackson Browne, and Lou Reed. Yeah, super exciting stuff. In the current film, Eric will take the role of Shelley opposite Philip Anglin in the role of Byron. It's ironic to note that both actors gained fame by playing deformed characters, such as Rocky Dennis in Mask, that was Stultz, and Anglin creating the role of the Elephant Man on Broadway. So basically, when you see them, you know, they look a lot different because they're not really those characters. It's sort of...
Yeah, they shed a little rubber, and there you go, they're normal. Yeah.
Yes, and we weren't talking about a full body condom. We were talking about serious... You know,
Serious rubber.
Yeah, serious rubber. Let's kick off 4 in a row with Crowded House. Don't dream, it's over. Somebody save me, that's Cinderella Bon Jovi making a guest spot in there. But, you know, let's talk about all the kind of fun stuff that we have for them on tonight, you know, on the channel, shall we?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay.
Because you're reading a teleprompter, I'm not.
Oh, reading? No, we're not reading. It's all up the top of my head.
What is going to happen tonight, then? Okay.
To end our Closet Classics weekend, we've got a film from the early... Baby on Board. From the early... Well, the early days of rock and roll, basically. It's rock, 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 and it features performances from Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers, Connie Francis, Chuck Berry, and more, plus appearances by actress Tuesday Weld and famed rock DJ Ellen Freed. It all begins at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. The Sunday special tonight is another edition of The Tube featuring performances from Paul McCartney, ZZ Top, Julian Cope, Pet Shop Boys, House Martins, isn't it? That's right, and others. 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, and it's brought to you by the U.S. Army. Don't you find it silly when, like, the U.S. Army sometimes sponsors, like, the Saturday night concert, and it just so happened to be, like, Ozzy Osbourne this past time?
I don't think that that's silly, and I think that it's good that they do sponsor it. You know why? Because the people that should be in the Army are the people who want to be in the Army. Okay?
True.
So that's who you should advertise to.
Uh-huh.
If you want to be in the Army, you should be in the Army, and you have to let people know that they're, hey, in spite of what you read on the newspapers, there's still an Army. We still have one.
Yeah.
And you can join if you want. But if you don't want, you shouldn't go.
Yeah, but, you know, the Ozzy fans have the long hair. It's the first thing to go.
Well, maybe they want a special army.
Yeah. A prayer army.
Yeah, right.
That's
Prayer
right.
warriors who use these.
Oh, gosh. Let's go for this Cream Closet Classic, shall we? Yes, I think you do. I'm Dweezil, and this is Christina. Sleep it off. You know, it's time for trivia question. Yeah, it's time for our trivia question that's sponsored by Dr. Pepper. Are you ready for this? What band's lead female singer starred in an episode of a short-lived TV series called James at 15 and sang a top #1 song for a top-grossing movie in 1986? Yes? You think you know? Well, I'll have the answer right after this word from the out-of-the-ordinary soft drink, Dr. Pepper. Okay, the question was from Margaret Rains. I don't know if I said that before, and she's from Nebraska, and her question was, what band's lead female singer starred in an episode of a short-lived TV series called James at 15 and then now sang a top #1 song for a top-grossing movie? And do you know the answer? Well, let me just tell you, shall we? Are we? Yeah, we should. Oh, it's Terry Nunn. There we go. Isn't that good? From Berlin. You know who she was. And thank you, Margaret, because you, along with everyone else who sent in a question, is now qualified for some real out-of-the-ordinary prizes from Dr. Pepper, a Dr. Pepper vending machine with a 6-pack a week for 1 year of Dr. Pepper products. The next drawing is coming up soon, so if you have a trivia question, here's the address. MTV Trivia Question, P.O. Box 1310, Radio City Station, New York, New York, 10101, and be here tomorrow for another trivia question sponsored by Dr. Pepper. Yeah, you see, Mickey is having Mardi Gras fever. It's pretty nice
When
concept.
Mickey doesn't use a rubber, this is what you get.
Baby on board. You know, the KBC band in their America video take you all across the United States, but in our new contest we're doing with the band, you could see the world by winning a trip for two to the city of your choice. Pick up an entry blank at any one of these stores that you're seeing on your screen right now at this very moment, and the winner will be able to choose where they're going from a list of cities from around the world, basically, so they can choose anywhere. And we sort of mentioned a few nice places to go, but sure, there's a few more. I don't know if they'll be on the list because we don't know exactly what airline is flying them.
Avoid Los Angeles, but come to New York. I think.
New York?
Yeah.
But so like somebody from Nebraska, you would say, come to New York rather than go, like, because they could go anywhere. They could go to India, they could go Cleveland.
I think they should come to New York, though.
Okay.
Yeah, because more things could happen to them. What could happen to you in Cleveland? Here, something could happen to you.
Yeah, you know, but it's never enough. You know, and that's Patty Smyth's new song. You know, I just want to say, you know, I really like the way Patty Smyth sings and stuff, but I was sort of disappointed with the new song because I sort of feel like she could really do a whole lot better. And the Hooters actually wrote the song, and it was on a previous record of theirs when they were a different band called something else that I forget. Does anybody remember what they used to be called? Baby Grand, I think it was, something like that. And basically...
The Warriors?
Yeah, no.
The Prayer Warriors?
Yeah, the Prayer Warriors. Remember that old Scandal song? But, you know, anyway, watch her video, and just keep in mind that at one time she was also going to be the new lead singer for Van Halen. True. Hi there. You know, I found this, and I was pretty darn impressed because it sort of would be the top 100
The
countdown.
Germans used to do things like that, and they got in trouble for it.
Oh, yeah? Like defacing Walt Disney products?
Yes.
Oh. See, I was in...
But it all didn't go wrong, because you know what really happened to those people?
Huh.
They were brought to the United States during something they called Project Paperclip. Did you know that?
I didn't hear about that. It's nothing like witness relocation or something.
No. It was all the people who put together our space program. After doing the experiments in those concentration camps,
Oh, those experiments.
our government brought them here. That's
so
true.
that's weird because...
That's depressing.
What year did that happen? I wasn't
A little while back.
A little while back, yeah. I was probably just a mere amoeba at the time. But, you know, being that I'm 17, I sort of find it hard to recall those things. But it's
But
nice
you
to
should
know.
recall those things.
Well, yeah, I should find out those things. And I guess, being that I'm not a Republican, I have the opportunity to look back at those things.
That's true.
You know. But do you ever think what it would be like if like,
You actually put your leg like that?
yeah, it would be sort of painful. You know, I don't know.
We got 4 in a row coming up.
Don't we? But first, this word from Snickers. Those prayer warrior exercises.
Yeah. You know, just go like this 3 times, and then you have to, the book itself, give me that book there.
This one?
Yeah. Imagine a book.
About yay thick?
No, twice as thick as this, in a high school binder. $40 tells you how to pray. and if you don't get the book and learn out of this, you're praying wrong. See, so you have to send in, I mean, this is real, this guy sung this book. So the idea is that you would get the book and you would learn how to be a prayer warrior. And you and 300,000 other people, by reading this book and praying, would solve everything that's wrong with this country. What do you think about that?
You know, see, that's the kind of thing that frightens me to no end, and that's why I'm glad that you tell me these things and you keep me informed on this sort of behavior, because
it's better that I should watch those shows than you.
Well, see, I got hooked on them. You see, I was watching Oral Roberts' son just this morning, and he was off, you know, on how it was going to be so great that he's going to set up these, you know, missionary medical program things.
Do you know why they're setting
Kenya.
up these missionary programs? Okay. Many of the countries that they want to go into don't want Christian missionaries because they interfere with the politics in the country. So they said no more missionaries. So the way you get around it is you send them a doctor or you send them a nurse. And before you get your penicillin, they get to read the book to you, see? So a lot of these places will say, all right, we'll let the doctor in. And that's the reason why they're trying to put together these medical missionary teams. I think that it's another way that Americans are inflicting their will on these third world countries, and it's unfair.
I think it's pretty frightening. You know, I found it I found it amusing though because they had film of him going to Africa, and you know how. See, basically, he's used to being in a nice suit, you know.
Yeah.
He's got one of his big frocks on, you know, and he's out there, and they're singing some African, you know, religious
The
tunes.
Lion Sleeps Tonight?
Oh no, it wasn't that one. It was something like umbele, umbele, you know. And he's getting down on it. He's got a microphone, and he's dancing. He's doing his best Elvis, and you know, he's out there saying, "We're bringing you doctors and nurses, buddy."
Wait a minute, I got a good one for you. On the 700 Club earlier this week, they had a news story about a congregation, a Christian congregation in Africa with 45,000 members. This is Ben was reading this story, and he was saying, and they're raising the dead, not just 2 or 3. They're raising the dead.
Oh gosh. You know.
Now, what?
We're raising them. We're giving them a nice raise. But I think that's all the time we've had, and I'm glad that you could come down here. Yeah. And I guess I'll see you back at the house.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So Carolyn's coming back to take you through the rest of this evening, and we're going to leave you with
They're raising the dead, not just 2 or 3.
Skin Trade coming up.